Just like many of you, this has been a very difficult week to digest everything that's happened and a number of the responses to it all, quite frankly. Um, some would say mind numbing, some would say heart numbing. If you're empathetic for the human race, you've got to feel some empathy and some compassion for so many, for Charlie Kirk, for his wife Erica, for his two young kids, for the effect that it's caused on everybody. But I've sat for a couple days and I've watched and I've listened and I've watched videos from all sorts of sources. And not to make judgment on any of them, but to sit and hear what people are saying. And as I worked to process for myself and was working with one of my coaching clients yesterday, it kind of came to me a little bit. I don't know that I have all the answers by any stretch, but an answer I did come up with is something I learned from one of my mentors who became a dear friend, Jack Canfield, and quite frankly, his book, The Success Principles. You know, at some point, you got to go back down to your foundation and understand why you believe what you believe and why you've learned what you've learned. And, it's taken me a couple days to process it. I'll tell you the truth. I don't know that I'm still processing it all. But what came to me is some of the things I learned from Jack Canfield and co-author Janet Switzer, another great friend, what they wrote in the Success Principles. And so as I was reviewing the book this morning, there it was. Principle number one, take 100% responsibility for your life. So I'm going to quote the book and read the book. So if my head's down, I apologize, but I'm actually reading from the Success Principles. You must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. A quote from the great Jim Rohn, an amazing business philosopher through all the years. And as I read, it says, there's only one person responsible for the quality of your life. That person is you. If you want to be successful, you want to take 100% responsibility for everything you experience in life. This includes the level of your achievements, the results you produce, the quality of your relationships, the state of your health and physical fitness, your income, your debts, your feelings, everything. This is not easy. In fact, most of us have been conditioned to blame something outside ourselves for the parts of our life we don't like. We blame our parents, our bosses, our friends, the media, our coworkers, our clients, our spouse, the weather, the economy, the astrological chart, or the lack of money. Anyone or anything that we can pin blame on. We never want to look at the real problem. That's ourselves. I mean, that's powerful. You know, taking 100% responsibility for everything in your life isn't easy. But what it does is gets rid of blame, shame, and justification. Blame is you did it. Shame is I did it. Justification is let me tell you why it happened. But all of those give away your personal power. George Washington Carver said 99% of all failures come from people who have the habit of making excuses. And so, again, as I was thinking through everything that's happened this week and what can be done, because something's got to be done. I mean, that can't happen. We can't live in a free economy in a free world where people can be assassinated because somebody doesn't agree with something else. That doesn't work. We're social beings. We're meant to have conversations. We're meant to have respect, honor, and dignity for each other. We don't have to agree with each other, but we should listen to each other. We should talk it out. I mean, that's where hug it out came from, right? You first work to understand their situation, respect somebody's position, honor, lift them up. If we do that appropriately, dignity is created. That's been my platform for years, is to return respect, honor, and dignity to the planet, quite frankly. We've got to be treating each other better. We're social beings. We're meant to be socially interactive. Socially interactive means we have dialogue. Dialogue means two or more people talking together. We've got to get into greater conversations. So again, as I've been working to process this for myself, I went to what I have many times called the Success Bible, Jack Canfield's Success Principles. And I started reading again. And there was a concept in the book that I've taught ever since I learned it from Jack. But he learned it from Dr. Robert Resnick, a psychotherapist in LA. And he basically taught this very simple formula for achieving 100% responsibility. And that is E plus R equals O. It's not the E stands for events. The R stands for our response to those events. The O is the outcome of the total. E plus R equals O. Again, in the book, it says the basic idea that every outcome you experience in life, whether it's success or failure, is the result of how you have responded to an earlier event or events in your life. If you don't like the outcomes you're currently getting, there are two basic choices to make. Pretty amazing. I think it kind of fits in this. You can blame the event for the lack of results, your outcome. In other words, you can blame the economy, the weather, racism, gender bias, the administration in Washington, the political climate. You can blame everything else. And there's no doubt that those factors exist, but they are not the deciding factor. Because if they were, nobody would ever succeed. Again, reading from the book. Great wisdom that came out many years ago. Wish more people would read it, consider it, and embody it if, in fact, it works. Or it says you can place blame for everything, but it wasn't the outside event or circumstances. Or the second is you can simply change your responses to the events, the way things are, until you get the outcomes you want. You can change your thinking. You can change your communication. You can change the pictures you hold in your head of yourself and the outside world. You can change your behaviors, the things you do. You know, this morning it finally popped up. This is an E plus R equals O situation. The event, unfortunately, is not going to change. The trigger of this was Charlie Kirk's assassination. That event, no matter how much we might want it to change, isn't going to change. But now it becomes our responses to that event. Do you maybe go review some of the dialogues and conversations that Charlie was trying to have with people, and really critically look at the fact that while he may have said things you disagree with, he wasn't really hating on anybody. He was sharing what he believed to be the very best truth and biblical support that he could in those situations. Is it going to cause you to read your Bible more? Is it going to cause you to share the gospel more? Is it going to intensify your faith? Is it going to pull you into just being a nicer, better person? Or is it going to send you in a different direction? Response. The event doesn't change, but your outcome will. Your outcome, and quite frankly, the outcome of our country, potentially the outcome of our world, all changes on how we respond, both individually and corporately, together. Do we come together and start to respect, honor, and dignify each other more? Do we pull together and be nicer to people? Have more conversations. Listen more intently. Stop being so determined that it's your way or the highway for everyone. Increase critical thinking. Is it possible? Is it possible that what the other person is saying is accurate or worth consideration? We have many different religions around the world. Those who believe in those religions believe they are the appropriate religion for them. Well, they believe that for a reason, or many reasons. And the question is, what is the result of their actions because of those beliefs? Are you looking at the outcomes? You know, people are rallying. They're rallying for the betterment of the world. That's what needs to happen at this point, in my opinion. We need to come together. We need to strive for unity. We need to listen to diametrically opposed positions with consideration. We have to hear out what's going on. And then we have to come together to create the solutions. The event isn't going to change, but our response to that event is up to us. My encouragement, look to the learned like Jack Canfield, like Janet Switzer, like so many people who have been teaching on this subject for many years. I am so honored that they took me into their fold and they shared the information with me. And hopefully this gives you pause for consideration. I'm not suggesting I have all the answers, but I know some directions that I want to go in. And I want to do what I can do to encourage others to love one another, be good to people, work to understand, make the world a better place. It's the outcome I want. It's the best world for me, but more importantly, for my kids and for their kids and for their kids. It's how we come together. I hope this at least gives you pause for thought. Have a fabulous day. If I can ever be of service, please let me know. God bless.